Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome in if this is your first time being here. My name is Melissa. This is Empowered Gems Tarot, and in today's reading, we're going to be looking into what makes your aura magnetic. So, this was a request from a subscriber who wanted me to do a reading on your sexual magnetism. So, that's kind of the vibe that we're going for today in this reading. We're going to try to look into what it is that makes people drawn to you, that makes your aura so irresistible and enticing for those around you that find you to be attractive. So keep in mind, this is a general collective reading on YouTube, so messages will vary in how specifically they may resonate with each individual viewer out there. As a best practice, if anything in a general reading like this ever feels confusing or doesn't feel like it really makes sense for you, those are typically indications it's not your message, so just release it, let it go, and understand that sometimes messages are meant for others out there in the collective in the same reading that we chose. If you guys did want to book a personal reading, the details to book with me are in the description box down below. Right now, I am on vacation in the month of December, taking a little break from personals, but I will be reopening in the new year. But personal readings are a good way to get a more specific read on your own personal energy and situation. So with all of that being said, now let's go ahead and we will select your reading. So if you're drawn to reading 1, we're working with what is this called? I think it's called the Ethereal Visions Tarot deck. And we've got this really juicy rose quartz tower. This is for group 1. Okay. If you're drawn to group 2, we're working with the Muse tarot, and we're working with this fire quartz crystal. And if you're drawn to group 3, we're going to be working with the Tinseltown tarot and this peach moonstone, which is so pretty. So I want you guys to take a deep breath. Think about your magnetism, your aura, what makes people really drawn to you and attracted to you. Go ahead and select the crystal or the deck that you feel the most intuitively connected to. And once you've made your choice, you can scroll down to the description box below to locate the timestamp that will skip you ahead to your chosen reading. I'll see you there. Hello, group number 1. Welcome to your reading. If you guys were drawn to the Ethereal Visions Tarot and this Rose Quartz Tower, this will be your message. And today we're looking into what makes you magnetic, your sexual magnetism. Why are people so drawn in to your aura? What does it evoke to others? So let's go ahead and jump in and start with some oracle cards here. What is your vibe, group 1? We start off with the message of the unseen. And then we've got, this is Saturn and Aries, first house energy. And we have the keyword of risk here. Okay. Group 1. So already what I'm kind of feeling is that you guys kind of have this vibe where you're a bit mysterious, okay? Because the unseen is giving me psychic, clairvoyant, sort of like high priestess energy. I think that people are drawn to you because you're probably kind of quiet, you're probably kind of introverted, or even if you don't necessarily harbor those traits, or you don't think you do, people just kind of view you as somebody who knows more than they let on, or who holds sort of like a deeper inner knowing. I think that people, like as I'm tapping into this energy, like I'm getting a little bit of like a discomfort in the pit of my stomach, like an anxiousness, where I feel like people feel that you see right through them. And that can be that you see like the good, but also the things that they don't want you to see or that they try to hide or deflect. And so you come across as very powerful. It's like a very quiet power that you hold. And so even the people that are intimidated by that are still quite magnetized to you because they view you in this way. It's very interesting what I'm getting. Okay, so kind of like that introvert that's all-knowing, very powerful, quiet energy. Now, you guys also have Saturn and Aries energy, which is very interesting because Aries is definitely the energy of self. It's the first house. So to me, it's kind of like this aura, the unseen. This is, I think, sort of what you're known for. Maybe this is how you present initially in your interactions with people until you get to know them a little bit better. But with Saturn here, this tells me that there's something very disciplined about you, right? Aries, the first house, the house of self. Saturn is the energy of discipline, restriction, accountability, doing the right thing, delayed gratification, right? And so it's interesting with Saturn and Aries because Aries can be kind of impulsive and impatient, but it seems like you're somebody who's really mastered the ability to restrict that, right? To really channel the power of Aries, the drive and the stamina of Aries into discipline and delayed gratification, which yields better results. I also think that you guys are probably known as somebody who takes more calculated risks or more structured or strategic risks, meaning like you will put yourself out there and be passionate about stuff. You'll go after something, but you're going to have a plan. You're going to have some discipline around it. You're not just jumping into something with impulse. You know what I mean? I feel people are really intimidated by you, Group 1. I don't know. It's like you have this very powerful presence that you exude, and it is very much a quiet confidence that I get from this, where I think you command a lot of respect, okay? So let's keep going. What is Group 1 sexual magnetism, Group 1? Why are people so drawn to their aura? You guys, look at this. As I'm shuffling, look who's here. The High Priestess. Exactly. That's how people view you. It's like this very psychic, all-knowing, powerful energy. Sometimes the people who yap the most, they're not as powerful as they seem. The loudest voices in the room are not always the most intelligent or the most powerful. It doesn't mean that speaking up is not important, right? But I think that you guys really hold a very quiet confidence and a power in that introversion that you carry to others, okay? All right, so we've got the Emperor, more Aries energy coming up. Some of my viewers viewing Group 1, you might be men. Maybe you're a masculine energy. Ooh, but then we have the Queen of Cups. So this is where we're getting beneath that exterior a little bit. I love it. And then we have the Hierophant coming through as well. And we have the Five of Wands. Okay. I think that people are drawn to you, Group 1. And I think you have a lot of people that compete for your attention, whether you realize it or not. You have a lot of people who might fight over you or who might be vying for your attention, or at least I think people who are admiring you, who are drawn to you, might think this, where they're like, oh my gosh, everybody wants Group 1. Everybody's drawn to them. Like, they probably have so many people that want them. There's definitely this energy of having to compete to get to you or to get your attention. Or it even could be for some people who are drawn to you, that it kind of stirs up a competitive energy within them, where maybe they feel like they need to compete with you, or you stir something up in them that makes them want to be better, because you guys definitely have this very commanding presence, right? But again, it's not in a bad way. It's just the way that you are. It's this quiet, powerful discipline, but you also have this really soft, nurturing, caring Queen of Cups vibe to you as well. So what makes you attractive, what it is that draws people to you, sexually or otherwise, it's both of those things. It's that discipline, but it's also that sweetness and that softness that you carry. I'm really drawn to this Queen of Cups. And I think if you're a feminine watching this, there's also something about the way you look that's very feminine presenting. Maybe you guys like to curl your hair or wear really flowy dresses and things like that. If you're a masculine watching this, you might connect with having a beard or facial hair. I think people are drawn to that as well. So take it as it resonates with you. But with this Queen of Cups, this connects a lot to what we're seeing with this High Priestess energy. I think that people are drawn to you or find you so attractive, Group 1, because you've got this compassionate, caring, nurturing, empathetic energy, right? But at the same time, where you can hold space for others. I'm noticing how she has this bowl of water here. You can hold space for others, but there's still a respect that you command and boundaries that you command. It's not everybody gets to have access to your energy. I actually feel that's part of what makes you so magnetic, is that not everybody feels like they have access to you, or that they can get to the depths that you offer, which I think is what stirs up some of this competitive energy at times, or this conflict that people experience within. This is just so interesting. You guys might actually have a lot of admirers at work, especially if you guys work somewhere where you work with a lot of masculines. You guys might have a lot of admirers there for some of you. You may not even realize how many you have, which is super interesting. So you guys have the Emperor, so we've got more Aries energy here. So again, this speaks to what I was talking about with boundaries, with structure, with discipline, right? It's like you have this very powerful authoritative presence where underneath of that is this beautiful, kind, nurturing Queen of Cups. So it's very balanced energy that you bring. We also have the the Hierophant, which is sort of like the counterpart to the High Priestess in a way, right? Because the Hierophant is also an energy of spirituality. So I think people, again, view you as very highly spiritual. I think a lot of people view you as somebody who's very wise. You know a lot. People might even be drawn to you because they see you as a mentor, like someone who can provide them with sage guidance, wisdom, or subject matter expertise in a given area. Very interesting, group ones. Let's keep going. We're going to pull just a few more cards here. So what makes group one's aura so magnetic? Please, Spirit. What else do they need to know? Okay. So we've got one card that's flying out here. So we're going to take the one that flew out in the upright or in the face up position. This says, the triple star grid align. I connect and align with my higher consciousness. So it's like there's something about you, group one, that it's like this spiritual wisdom, this spiritual insight that you hold, that people feel in you, you take that and you align it through your behavior, right? You know, I think there are a lot of people out there that are probably not on your level in terms of this like connection to spirit and the way you channel that down through your behavior. A lot of us get insights from spirit, but it can take time to really integrate that, right? Where you could be, for instance, like maybe some of these Five of Wands characters over here are the type of people who avoid, self-reflection, or they avoid confronting their shadow work, or maybe there's some people out there who ignore red flags and they kind of persist forward anyway without doing any of this inner work. I think that you're perceived as somebody who is highly attuned, highly spiritual, unafraid to go within and confront the shadow parts of yourself. And maybe people don't necessarily see this in you, but I feel like this is a part of what makes you magnetic, group one, is that you do these things and you integrate that work into alignment in how you move and how you act and behave, right? So it's just coming across as somebody who's very evolved. Like, I feel like you guys have a very rich inner world. And I'm just getting this energy that you hold yourself to high standards, right? So you're not asking anybody to do anything that you would not do yourself. You seem like someone who's very principled. And it's not to say that you guys don't have like impulse issues at times, or that you don't have like fun, or but it's like, I think you all have just like really learned self-mastery. And I think that's what a lot of people find so attractive in you, right? Like, you guys are the type of person where somebody might flirt with you that you find attractive, but if they don't align with your values, you're going to restrain yourself from like indulging in that, because to you, it would just be pointless. Okay, let's keep going. What is so magnetic about group one? Please, Spirit. Ooh, okay, so we have transformation. Yeah, so again, this indicates somebody who's gone through and done their look. Then we have healing with Sekhmet at the bottom. So yeah, it's like you all, you have done your inner work, right? Like, that's the biggest thing that I get, is like, you have done your inner work. And I think it's really interesting with the Queen of Cups being here with transformation underneath, because the Queen of Cups is definitely an energy that if not careful, if not self-aware, it can be somebody who gives too much, or who is prone to like codependency, or prone to, I think this still applies to you, where I think you guys probably have a lot of people that are drawn to you. I see that with this Five of Wands, and some people will take from a Queen of Cups because she's so compassionate and empathetic, and they will lean on this Queen of Cups for that emotional support, but they don't always have the ability to give back to the Queen of Cups because they're not in this healed place, and she is a healer in a lot of ways. You guys, I think, know how to harness that healing power that you have, but you're not freely giving it. And I think it's something that you've probably had to work on. Like, I could see this group having done a lot of inner work around like setting boundaries, for instance, and, you know, being kind and warm and open without allowing somebody to deplete you of your emotional energy, right? And so it's like you're flanked with this Hierophant and this Emperor that are sort of like your protecting energies. And it doesn't mean that people cannot access this Queen in you, but it just means that you're just more boundaried and discerning, right? And disciplined about how you're doling that out within yourself. Okay. What else? Let's keep going. We're going to do a couple more. And actually, I think I want to do, we'll go to this deck up here next. I can reach it. Ugh. I hate when I mess up my layout here. And I'm sorry if you guys just saw my hair in the frame. Okay. So what else, Spirit? What makes group 1 so sexually magnetic, or just magnetic in general? Yeah, you guys are definitely like, I think you definitely have a lot of admirers, a lot of people that like you or that want to get to you or have access to you. But I think you guys also stir up a lot of inner conflict in people because you're so principled and you're so disciplined and you're so well integrated that I think it mirrors back to other people the parts of themselves that still require healing or shadow work. And a lot of people get uncomfortable with that. You know, they don't want to face those things always. Okay, we have Apricot, rejoice and laugh. This is so beautiful. So, you know, and then look, we also have peach energy here. Inhale a breath of life. That is so beautiful. So it's like, I think just being around you, you're somebody who knows how to like inject energy into others. Like, inhale a breath of life. That's how your energy feels to people. And I wouldn't be surprised with this Queen of Cups, like, and this Hierophant energy, like, you're so good at maybe like reviving or like giving people the energy, the motivation, the confidence that they need to be able to move forward in whatever direction they need or that they're seeking. But you also have this beautiful levity to you, group 1, with the apricot, rejoice and laugh. I think that even though you have all of this kind of serious energy here, you are still somebody who draws people in because you're fun, right? Maybe you have a comedic side to you, or you know how to make people laugh. You're somebody that people have a lot of fun being around. So that's, I don't know, it's really special. I think that people genuinely really like you. Okay. And let's just pull one more to close it out, group 1. This is such a cool reading. Thank you to the subscriber who requested this. What makes group 1 so magnetic? What is their aura communicating out to the people? Ooh, okay, look at this. So we've got insecurities. This says unsure of who and where they are in life, wears a mask to hide their feelings in fear of rejection, constantly covers up who they are in fear of what others may think of them. This is this 5 of Wands here. So it's like, this is, I think, what you guys evoke in other people. And underneath the deck, we do also have the gluttonous gossip card. This says unable to control and has an overwhelming need to share false or misleading info, overindulging and overconsumption of personal narratives that may or may not be true. So yeah, I think that this is kind of showing like the shadow side of the types of people that you guys sometimes attract, right? Again, because you guys are so magnetic and so aligned in yourself and in your shadow work, in your healing, this definitely acts as a mirror, right, to the insecurities of others. You guys might also just, I was getting this with the Queen of Cups, but especially if you're a woman, I definitely think you present as being very feminine, traditionally feminine, like wearing makeup, like doing your hair, like beauty routines could be significant here. Maybe some of you like red lipstick. I think like wearing hair pieces or ornaments could be significant. I'm seeing that like in a couple of these cards here. Some of you guys might have indigenous heritage as well. Take that as it resonates for you. There's definitely something about your physical appearance that is a part of the magnetism. I know that that's not like been, I feel like what the bulk of this message has been about, but I want to make sure I'm incorporating those things as I see them. But yeah, you guys kind of act as a mirror to people who have not done their healing work. Because you show up in such a way that's so aligned and disciplined and structured and aligned with values, but you do it in a way that's quietly confident, right? This is not giving me the energy of somebody whose aura is super out there, super extroverted, super showy. Like you come across in this reading to me as being very contained, and that triggers people. Like it stirs stuff up. And I think that you guys with that Five of Wands and this gossip energy probably have a lot of people that talk about you. Right? Gluttonous gossip. It doesn't have to be necessarily all bad, but I think that people talk about you. I think that people, they might be talking crap, but they could also be talking about like, I don't know how to get to group 1. I can't crack through, or what is group 1 up to? Like, I think people are wanting to know what you're up to kind of, because you're so introverted and you're not necessarily forthcoming in everything that you are doing. For some of you guys in group 1, you could be asking about a specific person too. So just keep that in mind. Like if you're asking about a specific person, this message may resonate more specifically to that situation. But this is kind of what I see. This is super interesting, group 1. So comment below. Let me know a little bit about you and how you feel like this energy resonates with you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in our next reading soon. Bye. Hey, group number 2, welcome to your reading. If you guys were drawn to the Muse Tarot and this fire quartz heart, this will be your message. And so in today's reading, we're going to be looking into what makes your aura so magnetic, your sexual magnetism. Why are people so drawn to you? So let's go ahead and jump in. We're going to take a look at these general energies first, and then we'll kind of build into a more full message. So starting us off, group 2, we've got the energy of the shapeshifter coming through. And then we have drama, Mercury and Leo in the 5th house. Very interesting. Okay. So group 2, I think that you guys have like a very vibrant, extroverted, and maybe almost like a little bit of a playful trickster kind of energy to you. Like I could see my group 2 viewers being really funny, being really comedic. I could see you guys being into like drama or theater or acting. But the cool thing about the shapeshifter is like people kind of see you as like they can't really pin you down. Like you can take on and be adaptable and flex and move into like so many different personas. Like you can see here on the card, there is the lion. I'm sorry. Let me get my animals right, please. This is a tiger, and then it almost looks like a panda. I can't really tell, right? And so you have this ability to sort of be fluid, to be different. It is interesting though with this, the number 15 here is connected to the devil card in tarot. So I definitely think that you have a lot of people that find you very sexually magnetic, very sexually attractive. And, when I think of that energy of the devil, I also think of a little bit of that trickster vibe, like luring people in a sense, because you are so magnetic, but like sexually magnetic for sure. Okay, so Mercury and Leo in the 5th. So this definitely indicates with the 5th house, there's a connection here to like acting or drama or creative expression of self in some way, like the way that you communicate, right? And so for some of you, this could be literally verbal communication through poetry or speaking or acting, but it could also be like written communication for some of you too, right? So maybe there's something that you write that's creative, but you're definitely somebody who draws a lot of attention for your creative expression of self. And I definitely feel like most of you in group 2 would probably identify as being an extrovert, okay? Or somebody who's at least not afraid of being in the spotlight, not afraid of garnering some attention, okay? So let's keep it moving, group 2. What makes you so magnetic? What makes group 2 so magnetic? I don't know. I just feel like people feel like they can't really pin you down. And there's a song that's popping into my head right now. It's by Christina Aguilera, and it's called Can't Hold Us Down. Listen to the lyrics of that song. That song is definitely giving like strong, independent woman, independent leadership vibes. That could be something that people are connecting to your aura as well. Like people know they cannot cross you. They see you as very powerful. And if they overstep, they're going to get checked. Okay. All right. So what makes group 2 so powerful and magnetic, Holy Spirit? Tell us more. We have the 9 of emotions. This is the 9 of cups. We have the 2 of swords, the 2 of voices. Okay. And then we do also have the 4 of cups here, the 4 of emotions, and we've got the 7 of cups at the bottom of the deck, which is super interesting. I think the 7 of cups kind of ties into that shapeshifter vibe. Like you guys, I think, are somebody who maybe is a little bit dreamy or a little bit scattered. Like you've got different things that you like to do. And so there's this sense that like people can't really pin you down because maybe you guys are someone that has a lot of different hobbies, interests, or connections or people that you like to explore. You know, 7 of Cups does talk about choice. It talks about maybe our energy is spread thin. It also talks about very daydreamy energy. So I think you guys have a lot of dreamers, a lot of people fantasizing about you out there for sure. But what makes you magnetic? Why are people so drawn to you? You guys definitely give this vibe with this 9 of Cups that you have everything you need to be happy, right? The 9 of emotions, the 9 of Cups in the upright is really beautiful because this is somebody who has emotional fulfillment of self 100%. And so it's like, they're very emotionally abundant. They've got all of their wishes fulfilled. And because of this, it's like they don't really need anybody else to be happy, right? You guys definitely have options. You've got, I think, admirers. I think you have a lot of people who fantasize or project onto you, to be honest. But it's like you don't necessarily need it because you're happy within yourself. I'm also noticing here the little lamp. Okay. And the 9 of Cups is sometimes associated with the concept of getting a wish fulfilled. So maybe people see you as just being fulfilled in a general sense. But I think for others of you out there, there's like people who view you as their wish fulfillment. Like group 2 would be my ultimate dream. Like they're rubbing their metaphorical genie lamp to wish for you. All right. We're just going to move on from that. Okay. Now, you guys also have the 2 of Swords and the 4 of Cups. So the other thing that I get from your energy, which kind of going back to the trickster vibes, group 2, is I feel like you guys kind of ignore people that are interested in you. Like the 2 of Swords is this energy where like I know you're there, but I'm just pretending you're not there. And the 4 of Cups as well. It's sort of like this energy of I'm just not that into you. I'm not into this. I don't even see that as a possibility. And so I think it kind of just ties back to this magnetism that you have of like being so fulfilled with self and having your own things, your hobbies, your interests, your creative expression, your choices, right? It's like people are super drawn to you and you guys might not even know who they are, or maybe you do, but you're just like, I don't even care. Like I'm not even seeing that. That doesn't even register for you. So I think it's like people feel ignored by you or they feel not seen by you, and it draws them to you more, which is kind of funny. Okay, it's like they want your attention maybe. So what else, Spirit, for group number 2? What makes them so magnetic to others? What is their aura putting out there? We have the Maya, beloved Zeus, lovers. This cosmic union is destined for greatness. That's super interesting. This makes sense with that Christina Aguilera song that I was getting, the Huntress Quest. This says the Pleiades light my quest to be wild and free. Very interesting. So maybe you guys kind of give off like this very independent, free-spirited energy, which draws people to you. I wonder for some of you guys if people think that you have I was going to say boyfriend, so maybe that's the case for some of you, but maybe there is someone out there, there are people that admire you who think that you're in a relationship and that you're just like really happy in that relationship. And this is why you're kind of just disinterested in other people, even though there are people out there that view you as having you being their wish fulfillment, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of my group twos are in a romantic relationship with a partner. Yeah, because I don't really know why else this would be here other than maybe just the concept of being with you feels like a wish fulfilled for some people that are attracted to you. Okay. So what makes pile 2 magnetically, Spirit? What does their aura give out that draws people to them? We have transcendence coming through. Yeah, I don't know. I definitely feel like you guys probably have a partner, because it just feels to me like with this 2 of Swords and this 4 of Cups, there's this energy of overcoming temptation. Again, we got the energy of the devil here. Like you rise above that kind of stuff. And even if you guys don't have a partner, I think that there's this energy. When I think of transcendence, I think of rising above something, being above something. So maybe people view you as being above them or having like kind of elevated to the next level of success. Like people are drawn to you because they see that you've transcended obstacles or you've come through situations and you continuously level yourself up in a sense. Okay. And maybe there's some, I don't know, I feel like for some people, maybe there's some saltiness about that because you left them behind. There's definitely like an energy of like people maybe feeling ignored or not noticed by you that I see here, group 2. What makes group number 2 magnetic? But then like the fact that you just aren't that into them makes them more drawn to you. It's so interesting. We also have yellow. Purify your body. Okay. I wonder if some of you all are into health and wellness. I also think about like, isn't there, I don't know, because I'm not really one of those types of like where I'm really into the wellness trends and stuff, but isn't there like a trend of drinking lemon water in the morning? And isn't that supposed to be like a detox thing or something? I can't really remember. I remember seeing videos about it when I used to have TikTok, but I don't remember the benefits of it. But I wonder if that's part of this. Like maybe people are drawn to you because you guys maybe you're really into your health and wellness, or you take really good care of your physical body. I think that's a part of like what makes people attracted to you as well. Even when I'm looking at this couple here, they look very muscular to me. So maybe that is a big part of like what people find so attractive in you. I feel like we haven't really touched on physical appearances here. So there's a couple things I'm getting. Arms and legs. Arms and legs and hair. I think are traits and qualities physically that people have are drawn to in you, that they find attractive about you. Let's see. So what else, Spirit? We're just going to close it out with a couple more cards, maybe just one more. What makes group number 2 so magnetic in their aura? Ooh, yes, this makes so much sense. Magical and powerful. New beginnings and alignment, taking action toward destiny, creator of our own reality through the powers of manifesting. Yeah, so I think people just see you as this confident, magnetic, powerful person. Makes sense with that song that I was getting, right? There's also this unicorn thing. So it's like the energy of a unicorn being here makes me feel with transcendence. It's like, I think people put you all on a pedestal or feel that you're a bit out of touch. And even when we look at this 9 of Cups, she's levitating, right? Even up here in the 4 of Cups, she's like levitating. She's like above, sitting above the 2 people that are kissing here, right? So it's very interesting. I think people view you as this really unique figure someone that they would aspire to be or be with, but you seem a little out of touch, a little aspirational to people, which draws people to you more because there's something so unique and rare about the way you come across. We do also have this message of free will at the bottom. So I think this kind of speaks to your independence, your free-spirited nature. The fact that I think that you guys don't really want to be tied down. Even if you are with a partner, you come across as someone who's extremely independent and just, more centered on wanting to do what you want to do, which is not necessarily a bad thing at all. But I still continue to feel like there's someone watching this who has either like a specific person or people in general who feel like you don't really pay attention to them. Like that, like they're just not even on your radar in the way that they would wish. And it just makes them feel very drawn to you, group 2. So this was really interesting, you guys. Comment below. Let me know a little bit about you and what aspects of this reading might resonate with your magnetism. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next reading soon. Bye. Hey, group 3, welcome to your reading. If you guys were drawn to the Tinseltown Tarot and this peach moonstone crystal, this will be your message. And today we're going to be looking into what makes you so magnetic. What is your aura evoking? What is your sexual magnetism? Why are people so attracted to you? Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into the overall energies, and then we will dive in to a more in-depth message. So starting us off, we've got the heart. This is so beautiful. Okay, so we have the heart to start us off. And what is this? Venus in Scorpio in the 8th house, secrets. Ooh, okay. All right, group 3. So what makes you so magnetic? The heart is such a beautiful energy because I feel like people really feel this very loving, open-hearted, like heart-centered energy coming from you. And the heart archetype in this deck in particular talks about being the home, the center, the throne. It can talk about being expansive, knowing, and offering gentle clarity. Okay, so I think for a lot of people, they're drawn to you because you have this very open-hearted nature where people feel like they're at home with you in some regard. I think that a lot of you are very loving. And I think also there's a romance energy that I get from this too. Like I'm noticing the couple here. This is making me think of The Notebook when they're rowing through the water, that in that one scene that's very famous from that movie, right? So people feel like home. People feel, I think, very nurtured and cared for in your presence. But what's interesting is like being with Venus and Scorpio with secrets here in the 8th house. It's like, yes, you are open-hearted, but I don't think that everybody always has access to the full scope of what you can hold emotionally, right? Because 8th house energy is secretive. It is more inner focused. It talks about like the subconscious, the spiritual, the occult, deep transformation. And Scorpio in particular is an energy where things can feel a little bit uncomfortable when we start to get too deep, right? So I don't think that everybody always gets full scope or full access to what you're capable of. I think that you do still hold certain parts of yourself close. I do think that you all are deeply capable of intimacy with others. And I think that when people have access to that intimacy with the 8th house, this does talk about intimacy, sex, shared resources, and things like that. I think you are somebody who is very heart-centered in that intimacy, okay? Now, with the 8th house being here with Venus, again, I do think people are very sexually attracted to you. Group 3, I think they're very sexually attracted to you. I think you definitely have a sexual magnetism that you evoke. But with the heart here, this feels like it is more romance and like love centered. Like I think people will be physically attracted to you, but it's something about your heart-centered aura that turns people on, for lack of a better word or lack of a better phrase. You guys might have a lot of people who are jealous of you as well, maybe that you don't know about. I could see that being the case. But yeah, I just kind of feel like there's aspects of your heart that you offer up, but there's still an element of holding things close to the chest until somebody has shown or proven that should be allowed to have access to that, okay? So let's keep going. What is group 3's sexual magnetism? What makes their aura so magnetic to others, please, Spirit? Oh, wow. Well, that is powerful. We have the Tower. Hold on. We have the Justice card. And we also have the Eight of Pentacles here. And then we do have the message of the Devil at the bottom of the deck, which is kind of interesting. So definitely, again, there's like that sexual energy here. I think if you identify as a masculine energy, you're very powerful. You're very magnetic. Well, I think either way. I'm just kind of reading maybe a little bit too literally in that card, so apologies for that. But yeah, I think that there is this energy with you guys where you are very sexually magnetic with the Devil, and you do pull a lot of people towards you. And with this heart energy being here, I think that you guys have to be careful, right? Because you can draw people to you who are not healed, right? Who may have like codependent tendencies and things like that. They may latch onto you in an unhealthy way. Okay. So what makes you guys magnetic? This is a very interesting energy to come through in the tarot with some of these oracle cards that we got. Just wasn't what I was expecting. So with the Tower, there's something about you guys that's very destabilizing to people, okay? Because the Tower talks about shocks. It talks about unpredictability. It talks about structures in our lives that we thought were stable. And then the universe coming in and showing us, no, that was not stable. I think for some of you, there's probably someone very specific that you're asking about. Because I just don't see you guys having Tower energy on the collective like that. Maybe you do. Like, maybe for some of you, there's just this sense of like, when people get to know you, they're like, wow, I wasn't expecting group 3 to be that way. But I feel like for a lot of you guys, there could be someone in particular that's recently had an upheaval as it pertains to you. And that's very much coming through in this spread. Now, with the Justice energy here, this is very interesting. So you have this unpredictability to you with the Tower. You shake people's foundations with the way that you come across energetically, right? But then we have the Justice card, which talks about stability. Well, not stability, but it talks about like fairness. It talks about objectivity, neutrality, doing what's fair, just, and right for all involved, even if that means we personally are not getting what we want out of the situation. So I think there is something people know you for being like very balanced, fair. When I think of justice too, this can be connected to like the fields of law. I think of like human resources. Maybe that's something you guys are known for. That's something like that power that you hold, the knowledge that you hold in some of those subjects, I think also adds to this magnetic aura that you carry. Justice is connected to the 7th house Libra energy, which can also have to do with our one-to-one partnerships, right? So I think when it comes to being in one-on-one partnerships, you guys have a very like destabilizing effect on other people. You teach them karmic lessons. And again, I just keep feeling like there's someone in particular that has just gone through this with you that we're channeling in this reading, okay? Maybe it's karmic lessons around dependency, right? With this Devil card being here. Now, we also have the Eight of Pentacles here. So I think people view you guys as being very hardworking. I also think people view you as being very detail-oriented. You see how he's like examining this film, right? So you guys are somebody who's like a master of your craft. You don't miss the fine details of things. And this adds to your magnetism and your aura. Okay. So what else, Spirit, for group 3? What makes them so magnetic to others? What else do they need to know? we have the aquamarine star expression. I express my intuition with self-confidence and love. So this is coming up under the tower. And so the throat chakra is what is associated with the destabilization energy, okay? So it's interesting, right? Because there's this open-heartedness and maybe like a slight little bit of introversion or sort of self-protection of all of the love that you have to give. So I think when you guys open up and speak and you really convey who you are within with authenticity, it shakes people up. It shocks them. It's like, it just gives me this vibe that like people judge you externally to be a certain way. And then when you finally open up and speak, you're completely different than what they expected. And that's very destabilizing for others. You guys are also somebody who shows up as being very authentic, right? The tower is connected to Uranus. And Uranus is a planet that brings these sudden shocks and shifts, right? So you guys could be someone who's known for being just like a little unique, or just like being really unafraid and just being who you are, no matter how weird or different or sort of rebellious it is in whatever environment you're in, right? But mostly I just kind of feel like you guys shock people when you express yourself. Oop. Hold the phone. Made a mess here. So let's keep going. What makes group 3 so magnetic, please, Spirit? Ooh, we have Durga, boundaries coming through. Very interesting. Yeah, I think it makes sense, right? I think that you guys maybe know that you tend to draw in people who don't have the best boundaries or who may not be super self-aware, super healed emotionally. And so you have this beautiful magnetic aura around you that people feel comfortable with you. They feel at home with you. But at the same time, with justice, you know how to set boundaries. And this justice energy is coming from a place of fairness and doing the right thing. And not wanting to, maybe take advantage of other people, but also wanting to protect yourself. And I also think with justice, this is a lesson that you guys have had to integrate here, because you guys really do seem to have a very loving and rich inner world. But I think you've probably had to learn the hard way, right? That not everybody needs to have access to that. So this is what Spirit is showing me. Like, people are so drawn to you because you hold this energy of love and this home and comfort that you provide, but you have integrated a lesson around boundaries and limiting the access that other people have to that. And that draws people to you like a magnet. Isn't that interesting? Like, when we've done our inner work and we show up, in this healed way, it's interesting how people who are not healed will still be super drawn to that, right? Okay, so let's keep going. Group number 3. Something that I'm getting physically is like, if you guys have piercings or tattoos, I think this is also part of what makes you magnetic. For some reason, I'm feeling like a lot of you guys might wear jewelry, or maybe you like to dress really like in an elevated way. For some of you, that is a part of your magnetism as well, physically. Let's see. Ooh, and then we have bronze. Strengthen your body. So, you guys are physically attracted to people or physically attractive to people. If you guys work out, if you go to the gym, it's like the 8 of Pentacles, maybe you guys work in fitness, or you, are just like known for being very diligent and detail oriented in your physical body and your physical fitness. People are very drawn to that. So there's a lot of physical attraction here as well in this energy. I think you guys are known for being like very physically strong. So even if you're not somebody who's like into the gym and that like kind of energy, whatever you do, it comes through in the way that you look and the way that you vibe. So what else, please, Spirit, for group 3? What makes them so magnetic to others? We have union and in sync. This says working in perfect rhythm with each other, feeling seen, heard, valued, respected, and cherished, fully present with that person, mind, body, and spirit. That makes a lot of sense. I think that this is how you guys show up in your one-on-one partnerships with others, which makes a lot of sense with that Libra energy coming up here. So people are drawn to you guys because this is how you treat them when you're with them, whether you're in a relationship with them, you're working with them, you're friends with them, whatever is the dynamic in your one-on-one partnerships, this draws people to you because you make them feel seen, you make them feel valued, you make them feel respected, heard, cherished. You come across as somebody who wants to work with them, to partner with them. You're fully present. You're kind of like being engaged in the moment when you're together. I feel like for some of you guys, you might like work in the fitness industry. Like I'm definitely getting that vibe. Maybe this is like how your clients feel toward you. And if you do work in the fitness industry, especially if you're like a trainer or something, it's very common to have clients be physically attracted to you. But you guys know how to set boundaries around it, which is really great. Like you show up as somebody who's detail oriented. You want your clients to be seen, to feel seen and to feel heard, but you're not indulging in anything inappropriate here. Okay. And even if this isn't someone who works in the fitness industry who's watching this, just know that it applies regardless of what you do work in. I just think you guys are very physically attractive to others, very sexually attractive to others. I feel like you might look one way and then when you talk, you seem very different. Like now that we have the full spread here, like I could see you guys being someone who maybe like society would deem as being very conventionally attractive. But then like when you open up your mouth, you're like a nerd or like a science geek or something, like something very unexpected I feel is coming through with this, which is super cool. But it's part of what makes people really attracted to you and makes you magnetic, group 3. And again, I'm definitely getting this vibe that you've integrated your lessons, right? Like a lot of this boundaried energy, it comes from the inner work that you've done. Maybe you guys have recently gone through a difficult period. You've gone through like a dark night of the soul and you've had to kind of go within and examine some uncomfortable truths about yourself. But what has emerged is this beautiful energy that people are so drawn to, where you make them feel comfortable, you make them feel safe and seen and make them feel like they're at home, and you give access to this beauty that you hold within. But you've learned that not everybody needs the full access to everything, right? And you can set those boundaries where appropriate so that you don't end up attracting in unhealthy attachments with others. Okay? So this is what I see, group 3. Comment below. Let me know a little bit about you and how you feel this message may resonate. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next reading really soon. Bye.